childish. That's not
That is,
accurate.
it's childish? But you don't want me to be friends with her. That's not childish?
I don't care about you being friends with her. But the
Well,
fact
you
is,
ain't
I ain't talking to you. I'm talking to her.
Bro, I'm not gonna be your bitch.
Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Sam P. Today we're going to review Love Marriage Hunstville episode 7. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. May God continue to bless you all in this beautiful journey of motherhood. Let's get right into it, y'all. First scene, we see Kimmi. She's visiting Destiny in a beauty supply. It's really nice to see a beauty supply being owned by a black person. I really like it because most beauty supply are owned by like people of Asian descent, and I always thought it was so weird because they don't do hair but they're selling all those hair products. When I go to a beauty supply, I spend a lot of time there. I want to be able to ask questions and everything, but I usually cannot ask those questions to an Asian person because obviously they're probably not using those products, right? So it's really nice to see a beauty supply being owned by a black business. So they say hi to each other and they get to talk. Destiny energy is definitely different from the one that she had with Mel. I feel like with Kimmi, she's a little bit more aggressive. She's basically saying that she is annoyed. With Mel, she doesn't understand where the relationship has gone so sour. She's talking about Mel not wanting her to be friends with Martell. She's basically putting all the blame in Mel. She's not accepting that maybe some of her behavior is the reason why they're not talking anymore. Kimmi is telling her that the discussion that she had with Melody is different from what Destiny is saying. She said that Melody told her that last time she had a discussion with Destiny apologized. But Destiny is like,
I didn't apologize. I said I was sorry if you feel that way.
See y'all, that's the problem that I have with some people. They like to play with words, right? The goal of her saying that she was sorry should have been to apologize, but now she's saying it wasn't really an apology. She was just telling her she feels bad for her feeling bad, but not really that she's apologizing. See the play with word? That's how people that have mean spirit plays, and I don't like that. Then Kimmi is saying that you have to bring all the girls together. Well, she said that she doesn't know yet what she wants to do, but she would like for all the ladies to be bring up together because they were a point where they all loved each other and they all have a great relationship, and she kind of want to be reminiscent of that and go back to that time. And Destiny is open to it, but she seems like she's not sure if that's gonna work, but she is open to it. And a part of me is like, why are you open to it when you're not even trying to be honest with the situationship with Mel? I guess for Destiny, she just want a scene. It has to be that. Next scene, we see Mr. Marsau visiting his brother Maurice, and they catch up. Marsau is telling Maurice what he's been up to. We're learning that Marsau has a lot of businesses. That guy is booked and busy. And then he's also telling his brother that Martell came to visit him and basically wants to be buried back into shorts and wants to be in business with him. Marsau said that in the past, because of the things that Martell said to him, it wasn't sure if they could have been in business together. But he feels like Martell is a different person now, and why not give him a chance? He says that he wants to buy back into shorts, but that Letitia is not really open to it. Apparently, he's telling us that Letitia basically bought Martell's share that he sold, and she had to sell one apartment that she owned in order to do that. And I'm like, oh, those people are really doing big business. Like, we're probably talking, maybe hundreds of thousands of dollars. Those people are talking money, and it's really nice to see people that look like me talking about big amount like that and talking about investing in the community and all the things that they're doing. They're very successful. Maurice is like, so in the instances that Martell buys back into shorts, who is going to be selling their share? Because right now Letitia is my majority owner, and she doesn't want him to be back. So are you going to sell some of your shares so that Martell can buy them? Like, how is it gonna go? And Marsau is like, I'm not sure, but right now it's not really an option. But he would like to work with Martell. He would like to give him a chance. And there's Destiny's project, and he's thinking that since this is a small project, that would be a good opportunity for him to see if Martell and him can work together. And Maurice is like, why do you think that would work? And then he's like, well, if Martell is able to do a good job on a small project, that's going to help him to gauge if he's going to be able to perform in a bigger one and if he's going to be able to trust him. And Maurice is saying, yeah, I understand what you're saying, but he basically said that he feels that Martell needs more development and hopefully at some point work into getting his license, because apparently Martell still does not have a license. And it's true that if he does want to work in construction, having a license is evidence that you know what you're doing, right? So yeah, the discussion I think was really positive between both brothers. Next scene, we see Melody. She's visiting a psychotherapist. She's telling us that she's been seeing someone since her divorce, and it has really helped her to heal and to work on herself. So, we see them, they're talking, and the psychotherapist is asking her if there's been any changes in her journey and in her discipline. Has she been doing certain things to stay grounded? And Melody tells her that she has been practicing meditation, which is really good. I've been saying that I need to get into it. I really want to get into meditation, yoga, I pray a lot, but I do think that meditation could also have do a lot of good for me and for a lot of us. Psychotherapist is also asking her about boundaries, if there's anything new that Melody is doing about that. And Melody is saying that she has really been cutting a lot of people that she call energy vampire, and the way I related with Mel on that, like I really did. She's saying that there's some people that she feels that they just wanted to feed off her and the good things that she has of her out of her life, because they don't do anything for her than to basically suck her energy. And the way I could relate to that, like, it's funny how when you're like a successful person, you work hard, you do everything, there'll be some people, they don't like you, but because they like what you're able of doing, they attach themselves to you so that they hope that some of the blessing that you have and some of your hard work can linger on them. Some people literally do that, and they do deserve the name of energy sucker. I personally call them succubus. They really do exist, y'all, and it's very important for you to know to locate them and to really stay away from them, because they really will bring a lot of negative energy into your life while trying to suck the good out of you, and that is a problem. She's saying that has changed a lot. Melody before was more of a kumbaya person. She's still like that, but she just doesn't play. She doesn't allow disrespect in her life, and if she doesn't like, she deals with it, accordingly. She's also saying that the problem that she has is that sometimes when she gets angry, she doesn't know how to turn it off. And the psychotherapist said something about self-control, and I really can relate to that. Something that I always say is that whenever you get older, self-control is what differentiates you between being a child and being an adult. Adults that know how to control their emotion in certain situations is an adult that really can go far in life, because they know to take a step back. And that's very important. They know to take a step back into situation, and they know when to leave it where it is. And that's a great quality. A lot of people do not know, though, that for some of us, it might be easy to get there. But some of us, we need to do the work. And I always say that spiritual well-being is the same as working out. You have to work at it. You have to build the muscle. You have to make the right move to get that muscle to get stronger. So if you do not do the exercises that are necessary to have better self-control, it is totally normal that you don't. You have to be willing to do the work. Some things don't just come to you. You have to train them. And that is something that I am working on for myself. I'm learning to not let a lot of things get to me. Sometimes I will see people behavior I don't like, or people will really do me wrong. And I used to be the type of person, I'm going to tell you right here and right there, but now I decided that I'm going to just take a step back from it, do the work on myself so that it doesn't take a toll. Because the thing that Destiny doesn't understand is that whenever someone does something to you, then you get mad at them, then you want vengeance, then you want all those things, then it leads to something else. This is a lot of energy that you're feeding into that situation. Whereas if you took a step back and you did the work for yourself to move on, you're not going to spend as much time thinking about it, but you would have been moved on to the next thing and hopefully live a healthier life, drama-free life. So that's the problem with sometimes, whenever you say you don't like people doing things to you, you got to react right away and stuff like that. It usually leads to more drama. So it's like a never-ending story. Whereas when you choose to step back and to let it be, yeah, you're going to be mad, but it's not going to be as long as it would have been if you fed into the whole situation. So good luck to Melody. One thing I like about her is that she's doing the work and she's really trying to move on, and I can only applaud that. Next scene, we have Mr. Martell, who is visiting his business partner. He's telling us that since his divorce with Melody, he has not been doing a lot of work. When he's saying that, I'm thinking probably a lot of work as part of like construction business-wise, because obviously he's told us he has the wine and he has the books and he has all those other things. So I think he's probably talking about construction industry specifically. So they're talking and everything, and his business partner is telling him, you're gonna have to get your license at some point. And then Martell is like, well, I don't really think that I need my license. That's why I have you. And in the past, he's saying that Melody has been trying to get him to take his license, but he didn't really feel like he needed it because he had her and she had a license. And since she was his wife and they were working together, it was basically relying on her. And now he's saying that, well, with you, since you're a man, there's certain problem that we're not going to have because, you're not my wife. It feels like it's harder to navigate business relationship with women because they will mix, the personal with the business, but with a man, it's going to be different. But a part of me is like, Martell, you're thinking backward. Your friend can still do you wrong if he decides to. And in that instance, if things goes bad, you still will be left with no business license. He doesn't want to do the work. I think that he just doesn't want to sit down, study, and take the license. He'd rather rely on someone else. So he's explaining us why that situation makes sense to him and everything. And I'm like, I don't really like your approach. Human relationship can be really fleeting. You should always want to rely on yourself first. And if you have all the bandwidth possible to actually sit down and take the license, why not? You'd rather rely on someone that can end up doing you wrong. Like, how can you be 100% sure that your business partner is not going to turn his back on you? And if he does, you still have no license, so you're still going to lose. Let me all know what you think about that situation. I personally like independence. And if there's an opportunity for me to get my license so that I don't rely on someone 100%, it would be the best route for me. Next scene, it is Kimmi's Gallentine's party and it's looking cute. She has it in like a place, like a event place, and they're all wearing pink. And we see her talking to Tiffany. We got there first and they're chit-chatting and they're talking about, I hope that this is going to be a good event. There's not going to be any drama. And hopefully some of those ladies will be able to have a conversation and maybe, who knows, be able to like patch things up. Tisha comes in. Tisha is looking cute. She's wearing her sneakers, talking about she's ready for anything. I'm like, Tisha doesn't really give me that vibe of a fighter. I don't know why, but she doesn't really give me that vibe. But she's saying that she's basically ready for anything. And then Kimmi is trying to put some rules, and talking about certain words that shouldn't be used because that's going to probably rub the other person you're talking to the wrong way. The other ladies are coming. They're late. We have Melody and Stormy coming in. I really like the way Stormy is dressed. She's looking great, especially that she just had a baby. They're both looking good and they're coming in, and Kimmi and Tiffany is giving them the right energy. So Melody's like, oh man, I'm excited. I wasn't sure about this situation, but I love the energy that Kimmi and Tiffany are giving me. But when she saw Tisha didn't even look at them to acknowledge their presence. She was on her phone and everything, and I'm like, well, she's your enemy, so it shouldn't even matter to you. I guess y'all are like that southern charm type of things and still say hi to your enemy. But Tisha is like, I'm not on this today. Today I'm different. So yeah, and then Destiny comes in last, and they are sitting around the table. Kimmi is telling them why she had them all together, and they proceed to play a game. And in that game, they basically have to write something about them, and then assumption that they think that people have. Melody starts, and she talks about her assumption, and they all go, and they actually do a good job at playing the game. Things goes really well until Tisha decides that she's going to ask everybody what happened at the PJ party where everybody was talking about her, and she heard that Kiki told her that Melody was trying to get her to talk about Tisha and Marsau, so she wants to know about it. Like, she's here now, they can talk since they had so much to say when she wasn't around. She wants them to be able to say something. Then Melody is like, did Kiki tell you that I was pushing her to talk about you and Marsau? And she was like, yeah, she said that. And I'm like, Tisha, when? But I must be honest, Tisha names did come up a lot, so we're not going to act like Tisha names didn't come up. So Melody is like, okay. She proceeds to take her phone and call Kiki and ask the same question to Kiki. And Kiki is like, no, I wasn't just talking about you. Your name kept coming up and I talked about it. And then Kimmi intervened, and she was like, well, I was there and you kind of had a lot of things to say about Tisha and Marsau. And Kiki is like, but did I lie though? And I'm like, Kiki, if you saying this like that and you have an attitude, you saying you didn't lie mean that you've been talking. So you can't say you haven't been talking when you've been talking, right? Then Kiki is like, well, she doesn't really know who brought up the name. Maybe it was Tommy or something. And I think actually it was Tommy, because at the beginning, Tommy was being an instigator. She kept on going back on the previous season and stuff like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if Tommy is actually the person that brought up a lot of the discussion that came up. Proceed to hang up on Kiki, and Mel said to Tisha that a name was not everything that was talked about in the party, which for us as an audience, I'm pretty sure Mel is telling the truth, but for us as the audience, they only focused on the part where they were all talking about Tisha, of course. So for us, the audience, we're going to think that, yeah, well, it seems like y'all did a lot of talking, but if all they showed us was 5-10 minutes of them talking and the party lasted 3-4 hours, of course, Tisha was not the main topic, but they did talk about her. And then Stormy was trying to interject and talking about, Melody doesn't really have anything bad to say about Destiny and about Tisha. She's been around her. She's never really said anything negative. And then Tisha kind of it kind of escalated between Melody and Tisha. Destiny asked questions to Mel about, their friendship and everything. And Mel is like, we had a friendship, but we're not there yet, anymore. And then Destiny is like, had. And then Destiny, seeing that she's not going to be able to get anything from Melody as far as their friendship, proceed to ask her why Kiki was invited to the PJ party, since Tisha is a up. She kept on saying up, which in army term means opposition, which is enemy. So Melody says that Kiki has been a friend. She's known Kiki before she even knew Tisha, and Kiki never talked bad about Melody. So why wouldn't she be friend with Kiki? I mean, we all know that Melody is strategizing. Yeah, she may have some type of friendship with Kiki. Not even friendship. They may know each other, but I do believe that she is a little bit closer to Kiki because of the Tisha situation. It's very hard for me to think that Kiki and Mel friendship is not because of their dislike for Letitia. On that one, we have to be honest about it. But, she's playing the game, doing the Southern charm and everything, and she's not going to give them an inch. Melody's not going to give them an inch. I kind of understand why, because they have not been giving her an inch. So, you both gonna be petty, right? When they were talking, Tisha would keep on intervening, and Mel would got pissed off, and then she called Tisha a bitch. And then when she did, Tisha stand up and it escalated. And the part of me is like, yeah, Mel, you shouldn't call Tisha a B word, but at the same time, Tisha, when Destiny is talking with Mel, you don't need to intervene. And Mel is even saying that's the same thing you did during the reunion that got me pissed off. You need to shut the After that, Stormy also kind of interjected, and then it it kind of became a Stormy and Destiny thing, because when Mel wanted to talk, Destiny was like mad because she said ad. I'm like, y'all are not friends no more. She's not trying to be your friend no more. You're not trying to be your friend no more. You're not trying to compromise with Melody, Destiny. So you're not gonna act like, you know, you're not, like you're like a victim or something like that. Your friendship, you know, there's a problem there. There's a problem. It's not what it used to be. So Destiny and Stormy, that was also kind of like interjecting. A part of me felt like Stormy maybe should have kind of just quieted down a little bit, because same way with Tisha intervening with when Destiny and Mel were talking, I don't think Stormy needed to intervene when Mel was talking to Destiny. So they go back and forth, and Destiny is kind of like giving Stormy the same energy. So since Stormy, she has like a little country accent, and Destiny is like imitating her, and Stormy's like, oh, so you're trying to be like me? I understand. I would want to be like me too. I'm like, Stormy, you're a case, but I get you, girl. I would have said something like that if someone is imitating me. I'm just saying. And yeah, Destiny has that very aggressive energy, but I'm not gonna lie, Stormy is definitely a match. She's not backing down. They go back and forth, and then it escalates some more. And that's it for today, y'all. Let's just say that next episode, we'll see how the fight ends up being. It seems that Marsau is going to be on the hot seat. And we'll see, y'all. So far, so good. This season has been given to me. It started very slow, but it's giving. Let me all know what you think in the comments, y'all. And for those of you that are new, hi, welcome to my channel. I invite you to, and for those of you that have been following me during my show review for Love Marriage Hunstville, thank you all for your support. Let me all know what you think of the episode. Let me all know if there's some part of the review you would like me to talk a little bit more. I decided that I'm going to do a little bit more reactions of certain scenes. So sometime I'm going to break down some of the scene and just focus on them. Let me all know if you think that's a good idea. I cannot wait to hear from you, and I will see you all next week. Bye.